Global insurer Old Mutual has been restructuring its portfolio of assets, including the disposal of some of its Scandinavian and its American assets. In annual results out last week, Old Mutual's total revenue for the year plummeted to 9.8 billion British pounds, and headline earnings per share were lower at 10.7 pence. In addition, market rumours continue to swirl about the possible sale of banking group Nedbank. Well, Jonathan, I've got to throw it to you. How long are these rumours going to go around over Nedbank? Surely they've got to do something about this asset very soon.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we like Old Mutual, is it's the unlocking of the value that sits inside the various business units of Old Mutual. And yes, Nedbank's been on the cards for a long time. Unless they get a good price, I think they'll probably hold on to it. But it's a fantastic business. It's really doing well. It's generating good cash, paying decent dividends now, and Nedbank has really, under Mike Brown, started to come right. So,
do you think because it started to come right, it's now going to be welcome in the stable?
Well, the problem is they want to sell it to someone. But now you tell me no other bank in South Africa is going to be allowed to buy it for competition reasons. So now which bank in the world has got money? Most banks in the world are short on capital. So,
Paul, where do you stand? Firstly on Old Mutual and then on the Nedbank story.
Look, I've been looking forward to this discussion because for me, one of the least attractive sectors on the exchange are the insurers, for reasons that I'm more than happy to unpack. As far as Old Mutual is concerned, it's obviously the giant of this space. It's a 100 billion odd market cap company. It's traded well in the last couple of years. Everybody knows it was at 4 Rand or whatever it is in the middle of the crisis, and it's now back at nearly 20. It's paying special dividends and so on. People have been liking, as Jonathan says, this asset unbundling play. But the question is it really that attractive, or is it just one of those recovery stories?
Let me just put some perspective on the table here. You haven't owned Old Mutual, so you haven't participated in the some 13% rally year to date.
Look, there's stocks. Our biggest holding is Apple, which is up 50% year to date. So what do I care about 13% up to date? The problem for me with insurers is the business model. We know what they do. They hold capital. They're very cyclical with the rest of the market. And they have very complex and opaque financials, very tough sector to invest in. It
is a tough sector to invest in, but you talk about the value unlock in Old Mutual. Is there more value? You're saying, yes, you're waiting potentially for the unbundling of Nedbank or the sale of Nedbank. Where can this stock go? Where are we at the moment? Just below 20 Rand on Old Mutual.
Look, we've owned it for 18 months. We really upped our position middle of last year. So we've participated in a lot of it. We've done very well out of that. Where can the stock go? Well, if you look at what they want to do, they're going to list the US asset management business. I think that's a good move for them. I don't think it really fits. It's neatening up the business. What in my mind you're going to have is
what Julian Roberts is really doing is undoing everything that Jim Sutcliffe did, isn't he?
Pretty much. I don't want to be too rude about what happened, but certainly I don't think Old Mutual's foray overseas was the right move.
Well, you don't have to hold back on this show. You can be rude about it. That's the beauty of hot stocks.
And that's the beauty of the markets. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the past was. If you can get in and buy a distressed asset like this. But just to unpack that, there's been massive value destruction because they paid top dollar to expand into the US market where they're now disposing of assets. They bought the old Sage Life business, which was an absolute dog, and nearly killed the entire company because of the capital adequacy hole that they discovered in it. They had many, outposts in Asia selling those structured products, which blew up in their faces. The South African business has always been the strong part of it, but from the London point of view, the part that they didn't like because it was emerging markets and so on. So now they're retreating back to that. They want to be in wealth aggregation. They want to be in core life insurance and related products. That's fine, but I'm not sure from here, having survived and having kind of shed bits and pieces, that it's as compelling an investment as something in the industrial space.
You said you bought the stock some 18 months ago. Are you holding it? Just reiterate again, you're holding at current levels. What are you holding out for?
Well, there's the special div that's coming now. So, you get 2 Rand 20 special div, another 40 cents in ordinary dividends. So it's 2 Rand 60, which is going to come back to you. The asset management business, when that gets IPO'd, and Nedbank possible unbundling or sale.
Do we have a target price here?
Well, my model suggests probably 22, 23 Rand. You're going to get the div, so maybe you'll get 20 Rand plus the dividend.
Paul, you're still not convinced on this one?
For the record, I think Nedbank will go. HSBC CEO apparently has been seen shuffling around in Pretoria, going in and out of the reception at the Reserve Bank. I mean, what would he be doing here other than talking to them?
What, is this
about
all
these
going to happen again?
I think it's all going to happen again. It wouldn't be surprising if HSBC, having been in the data room and decided not to do it, now wants to do it, because the banks globally, we know, are recovering. You know, in the last couple of days, we've had JP Morgan paying dividends and everything's
What
good
about
with
the
them
fact
again.
that Bob Diamond was here for... He was here for about a week. Could they potentially take out
Maybe,
that bank?
although other people have said that that's because he's come to work out which people at ABSA to fire in order to lower the cost base there. That's more likely, I think. For Barclays to do another deal now, I think is probably a bit of a stretch.
Hot or not?
It's hot for me, yes.
Paul, hot or not? On
No,
Old
not
Mutual?
for me.
Not hot.
Not hot.
That's
Cold.
the terminology I want. Not hot.